Alright, so I've tried maybe almost 10 times already to do a video on Volta or Volta Wireless, and I keep making adjustments because I keep redoing these videos or audio, whatever you want to call it. Mainly because it's, I don't want to leave anything out, and I don't want to go like too in depth with everything, and I don't want it to be like a really long video. For starters, in case you guys don't know what Volta is or Volta Wireless is, if you know like any kind of like mobile service providers, right? The main ones here in the U.S. are like T-Mobile, AT&T, stuff like that. And then they have like companies that are working, like they're smaller, and they're using T-Mobile or AT&T's towers to get service to supply to their customers. So, for example, Metro PCS was one before, but I believe T-Mobile even bought that. Mint Mobile, Simple Mobile, Straight Talk. Volta is the same. However, Volta does use AT&T and T-Mobile to get, to provide service to their customers. But there are some differences with Volta Wireless compared to everything else. Okay, everything else is pretty much the same. And I'll get into that in a moment. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video on Volta Wireless, because what they were offering really stood out to me, and I said I want to try something. I'm very interested in it, so I'm going to try it. And given how the service was, like we've used Straight Talk, Simple Mobile, Metro PCS, what else have we used? Mint Mobile, T-Mobile. We're currently with T-Mobile. And I want people to know about our experience here. And this video, this recording, whatever, is just our experience. Our experience, our thoughts, our opinions, what we've gone through, how we interpret everything. And you are going to see some, we will put it at the very end, the emails that were exchanged between us and Volta customer service, someone by the name of David, and I don't know if that's the owner, David Sinclair or whatever. But it was that type of experience that I said, I really want people to know about this before they take the dive and they just go for it, and they're just like, yeah, I'm going to sign up to this company. I want them to know our experience. That way, they can't say, like, what did I get myself into? No one told me. Whatever. Okay? So, what is Volta Wireless? Like I mentioned, they're a service provider, but the differences is they offer encryption on all the data that I believe is sent from your device. I believe they mention on their website that, like, these are the main things that kind of sets them apart. Like T-Mobile, like they're getting all this information. You're looking at location, identity, communications, internet activity, financial transactions, more. And that like separates them. Okay, everything's encrypted. They're giving you this, like, as they show right here, privacy and a little bit of security. So it's nice. Like, I'm really into that kind of stuff. There are a couple of other videos that we do touch on stuff like this, security, privacy, stuff like that. And so when I heard about this, I'm like, hey, I've seen their application before in the App Store before when I was looking for messengers, because I'm really into any kind of like secure, private, encrypted messengers out there, for enhanced security. And I've bumped into their app before. I didn't realize that you needed to create an account. I uninstalled it right away because I didn't want to create an account. Like, yeah, you got to create an account, but you got to, contact them. You got to maybe purchase something. So I'm like, no, that was in the past. So I didn't really get into it. I didn't really look into them. I'm like, I'm not in the, there's plenty of, free apps out there, messengers. I'm not going to get into it. So this is what they offer. in their plans. You can see it here: payments, VPN, private messenger, which is like their whole idea is kind of hinges on this. All their service, everything they provide to their customers, for the most part, this is like the main thing, their messenger. Okay. You get a phone number and you're able to call and text. No data collection. They make it easy. Yeah, real easy. It's always secure. And they tell you, secure web browsing, encrypted communications. You get unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data. Fast, reliable 5G service. Safe payments. International roaming. Blah, blah, blah. So, no network operators will have access to your identity, location, communications, or online activity. Okay, so that's like one of the things that they're kind of like pointing out here, and like I was trying to say, and I was gonna try to read it here, but I can't find it. So they offer encryption, okay, on your mobile data, and this is like one of the main things that's different about them, and I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it depends on the DNS, and you can go into all that, on your own. You can look into their FAQs. They have an FAQ section here on their website. You can go into that and look into all of that. I'm not sure if, depending on the DNS you're using or it's set up, if it's going to matter. Maybe Volta does secure that in a way. They have their own DNS setup. I don't know. I know you can maybe change that, and it might help even more. But for them, they're saying it's everything's secure, private, everything. So, or they're saying something like that. So they say their encryption is a triple layer, and even government or military, its standard is just one layer. They said there's this triple layer, and it would take all the supercomputers on Earth 1 million years or something like that, or millions of years to be able to crack this encryption. Okay, so, but the other main difference, and this is what stood out to me in the beginning, and what I really wanted to know more about, was they don't offer traditional calling and texts. Okay. So how, if you have AT&T T-Mobile, you have calls and texts, and that's separate from your data, correct? You have, that's why all these companies say unlimited call, text, and data. Text being SMS, right? If you're unfamiliar with that, don't think it's like any messages you're sending through Facebook. That's data, right? SMS is different. SMS or text is what we used back in the day, right? that there was no data available. It was just calls and texts. On phones, that's text, that's SMS. So, that's separate from web browsing, that's separate from WhatsApp, that's separate from Facebook and stuff like that. That's all data. So, they don't have traditional calls and texts here, okay? Now, once you create an account with them, they give you a phone number. You're buying service with them, so you'll get a phone number. You get that phone number, and you're able to use their messenger. You use their messenger on your phone now for calls and texts. Your phone app doesn't work with this service. Your text app won't work with this service. It's not going to really detect services. You use mobile data for everything. So you have that account, that phone number, and you use it in the Volta Messenger, and in the Volta Messenger, you can text, you can call, and people can call you, people can text you. It'll be normal if it actually works. So where I heard about this was on a certain website that's banned, and they have a lot of videos. So they invited him on the show, David Sinclair, to talk about this product, and I guess they teamed up with him, and that's where things kind of got, a little dicey for the company, I guess, because, of course, anything anyone that advertises or connected to this website, this company that's banned, where they have a lot of video, they start getting attacked right away, from all these idiots out there. So I immediately thought to myself, I heard on there, and I heard everything that David Sinclair was saying about this service, and it's, I'm like, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'll give it a shot. But I had a feeling. I had this feeling that there was something about this that I wasn't going to like, and that's the fact that everything was going through mobile data. And he said, look, we can't encrypt traditional lines of communication where it's like calling and text. Those lines, they can't encrypt it. They have no control over it. But on the mobile data, they're able to get a handle on it and encrypt everything. So that's why they do this. Now, I'm not a fan of calling and texting through mobile data. You go on the App Store, any App Store, and they have like Text Plus and all these different applications where you can sign up and you get a phone number and you can use that phone number for calls and text. And I've tried it before. And in case you're wondering, you're still unfamiliar with it, Skype, right? Some companies offer that you can call them through Skype or WhatsApp or something like that, right? And sometimes those calls sound like garbage, right? You sound like a damn transformer. You sound like you're in a can, like a million miles away or something. It's just terrible, and I just don't like that experience. So for me, any kind of voice over IP or VoIP, these things, Skype or whatever, if they're asking to do stuff through there, I'm like, no. I never had good experiences with it. I don't like it. I like everything to be clear. And I know you're saying, like, well, it doesn't mean your calls are clear, your normal calls. Yeah, I completely understand, especially if you're talking with, like, a bank or some customer service. Yeah, they have the phone smashed up against their face. They really don't care. They're chewing on a sandwich, You're like, what the hell are you saying? And sometimes, it's just how it is. They're from a different country, and you're just not familiar with that, with their accent or something, and it's something gets lost, right? You just can't communicate, the right way. But yeah, all that kind of stuff pisses me off. I hate it when someone's like on a Bluetooth or some shit or on a speakerphone, and it's just like there's an issue. So I know I didn't like voice over IP or Skype or any of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to find out more about these guys. So what I did was I went here on their website and I went to Please Contact Us, and I used 2 email addresses to contact them about all my concerns, because I said I have so many questions. I don't want them to be like, I'm not going to answer any more questions from this guy. He's annoying. Okay? So technically I contacted them with 3 email addresses, because the 3rd email address I used to sign up for their services. All 3 different email accounts, email addresses. So I'm the kind of guy, like, I've been doing online shopping and all that for like decades. Like, once it like broke out on the internet that people were opening up these stores and stuff like that, I was like, in our family, I was the first one that started like purchasing stuff online. And my dad's like, what the hell are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, well, it's just like, you just enter your card number and that's it. And then I received the stuff, and he was shocked by it. But you kind of start to develop like a sense, like, is this company worth it or not? Now, one thing I don't like to see on a company is where you look on their page and they don't have about us, contact us, and then you might say, well, duh, it says contact us right here on the page. I only was able to get to this page through their FAQs, and even if you go to help at the bottom of their main page, and they have Facebook and Twitter and all those kind of links, you're still, you're diverted to the FAQs. You're sent to the FAQ section, and then you would have to see this little link to contact them. But for me, what I like to see is a full about us page and contact us page with like 2-3 email addresses, an address of their main facility or their headquarters or whatever, a photo of their damn headquarters, all the employees or something like that, right? The CEO, different phone numbers, different email addresses. I like to see something like that. That means that they want to do business. They want to put everything out there. They're like, contact us. We want to do business with you. That's what I like to see. I don't see that here. And a lot of websites can do this, right? You can get a free Wix webpage, right? And you have this basic little, like, contact us kind of thing. I don't like stuff like that. Okay? For the most part, the reason why is because you don't know what email address they have. You could find out later on that they're using a damn Gmail account to be contacted through this contact, page that's set up on their website. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going on here, but a lot of the times that can happen, and you got to make sure that you don't, you're not stepping into something that, it's going to end up backfiring. So I contacted them and I asked them about this, and what I liked initially right off the bat was they answered all the questions is for the most part. I'd say like 99% of the questions is as good as they could, and they were very clear. And it seems like they're American as well. I guess for me that's a plus because that's what I understand. I am Mexican American, I guess you could say. So I grew up here, but my father's straight Mexican, right? And I never learned Spanish. So, it's not like, well, maybe you'll get lucky and they'll know Spanish or something. I don't know. But like him, I think he prefers customer service, speaking to him in Spanish, I think, for the most part. He does have issues because there's like different dialects and stuff like that sometimes, but whatever. I'm getting off course here, but yeah, what I like is that I could communicate clearly. They can understand me perfectly well, and I can understand them perfectly well. So that was great. Like I said, they answered most of the questions, and I mean, in less than a day I got all my responses back. Now, I don't have any records of sending the messages through here on their contact page because they don't send you a copy to your email address. I don't think they do. They might. It might be in there somewhere. So, it might be on their responses at the bottom. I just forgot to check. I don't know. And I already recorded all the email exchanges. So, not really going to get into it, and I'm sure a lot of people don't care about the exact, like, word for word, what did you ask him before he signed up, all that kind of stuff. No, I'm sure people don't really care. I knew what I was getting into here, for the most part, because their service wasn't exactly what I liked. But as far as that goes, like, everything is going to be on mobile data. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give them a shot. I really want to support this company, and I really like that enhanced privacy and stuff like that, so I gave them a shot. As you can see, this is the website, and it's very basic, right? They have this other this other tab at the top showing phones that they're going to be coming out with, and this was one of the issues. I did ask them for complete specs on their phones because I was planning on purchasing a phone from them as well. They completely ignored that question. They didn't even reference it at all. Here are their plans. And you can check all of this if you just go to voltawireless.com. I know I'm just scrolling really quick through it, but, I don't want this video to be like 3-hour long video. You got their FAQs and my account. When you sign up to their account, it's really simple. Email, password, right? And then you can get in. Here's when you go to sign up, you got to pick a plan. So get ready to pay, right? So they are a service provider. So If you're going to create an account, you need to have a plan here for that account. So I signed up to the Volta Digital Nomad, which was $39.99. However, like I said, I seen the video, the interview of the guy, and he gave the promo code, and you use that promo code, and here's another little hint. The code I used was Alex, ALEX, and it took this $40 down to $12.50. Which was, I'm like, hey, for $12.50, I don't mind trying this. So you select this, you put your email, your password, you create a password for the account, and then you're in. And the My Account page section is so simple. It's like 3 buttons like this, 3 little buttons. It's like activate SIM card, pay, and I don't even know what's the third option. I mean, it's so simple. When you go onto your bank account nowadays, or your credit card account, there's a bunch of crap everywhere. And there's just like so much bullshit on the screen. And, you want to see your transactions. For the most part, that's why I think a lot of people would go onto their account online. I mean, I know they have apps and stuff to pay it, and you do auto pay for the most part. A lot of people do. So they're like, well, we can show you your last 5 transactions, but if you want to see more, you got to click here. Then you got to click here. You got to download this, and then it's like, what the hell? It's like, just show me that all on my that's like the main thing that for a credit card account or for a bank account, that should be like slapping you in the face like as soon as you log in, and they have to I don't know what they're trying to accomplish there, but whatever. So it's nice because there's nothing that gets in your way, nothing unnecessary, and yeah, it sucks you can't really see the statistics, the usage, and all that kind of stuff on your account, but I'm not really sure that matters. So they offer tethering with this and everything, so it's nice. It's supposed to be fully unlimited, I think. And yeah, I felt warm and fuzzy inside because I said this customer service kicks ass too. So I was really happy to sign up. Well, after you purchase, you might think, well, I gotta wait for the SIM card, right? No, you can download their application. And I didn't notice, and I just noticed not too long ago that at the very bottom of the page, you can just click on download the Volta app, and you can get whichever one you want. It's like a 40-something megabyte application. You can open this on your phone and download it straight to your phone. Just tap on it and install it. And it's a messenger application. And the reason why is because, like I said, everything hinges on this. That's the main thing for mobile service. Calls and texts, right? So you need that messenger to handle the calls and the texts, because like I said, your regular phone app's not going to work, or your SMS app or text app is not going to work. The ones that come with the phone, your Samsung or whatever, it's just not going to work. You got to use their application. You log into the account, and then you have your phone number there, you put it in, and your password for this account, and it logs you in, and then you can text and call from there. Now, the data works the same. You go to your browser, your normal browser, you can browse, you download apps on the Google Play Store. Everything else, works the same. It's just the calls and text. You got to do it through this messenger. So like I said, for me, the most important part is this. It's absolutely vital to this service that application is working the right way. Because if you can't get calls, or you can't call people or texts, right, then you're kind of up the river, because when there's a problem with your credit card or your bank or like the police or hospital or something like that, you're getting a call, they're going to call you. That they always ask for your phone number. They don't ask, what's your Facebook, some shit like that. Do you have a WhatsApp? No. They're like, what's your phone number? That's it. Is it a home or is it a mobile? That's it. So if that doesn't work, it sucks, right? Nowadays, You know, even when you order food or something, the guy outside is going to call you and like, where the hell are you? I'm here. Some shit like that. So, you know, you need that working. Now, this is what happened. After I went through all that, I want to explain, like, this is what happened. Had the application on our phones, and I tested this on 2 phones, okay? Samsung A71 and a Samsung Note 10 Plus. So I put it in the I download the app, put it get it going on the Note 10 Plus, log in, phone number, password, boom, going. And I told them, like, hey, it's not working. I can't text anybody. I'm not getting any errors. It's saying it's sent. It's showing like it's sent. No issues, no errors. Nothing pops up. And then I went through some emails with them, back and forth, and they told me, well, you got to see this, like, you got to be prompted. There's something that's going to pop up that's going to tell you you're going to send this. They're going to receive this as a normal text message because they're not a Volta customer. And I said, yeah, well, I'm not getting that. So after playing around with it for a while, because I don't like to be a bother to customer service, and I know you're like, well, you just use 2 fucking email accounts. Sorry about the language. 2 email accounts to contact them with like 100 questions probably, which it wasn't. So I'm pretty sure. But look, I might be able to solve the problems on my own. And I don't like going through this back and forth because I don't mind it if I'm helping them. But I don't like going through it, like bothering them, because, you know, I'm just like, that's how I was raised. Like, I don't want to bother them. So I ended up figuring it out on my own. What I did was I clicked on the plus at the bottom, enter the phone number I wanted to contact, and then I just tried to send a message through there as like a new contact. No, you have to like maybe add all the contacts from your phone, and then go into your contacts list in the Volta application, tap on who you want to contact, and from there you gotta select Volta out or chat, and then when you do that, you get prompted like they're gonna receive it as an SMS, a regular SMS message or text message, because they're not on Volta. I figured that out when I'm there on that chat screen trying to send them messages. I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, well, maybe the you have the 3 dots or 3 lines at the top of some pages. You'll have it, and it's like a menu, right? And I'm like going through there, and I'm like, there's nothing. And then I tapped on the name or the phone number on the very top of who I was trying to chat with, and then I got that screen. And then I hit chat, and then it's like, okay, they're going to receive it. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I sent it, and I'm like, oh, it works. And they're like, okay, great. And so I sent a couple more messages. But it seems like it only worked for a few hours. The next day I got up and I tried it again. For the most part, the issues were sending texts, because I don't really call that much, and people calling, most of the time it would come through, I guess. Sometimes it would be like delayed. Their text sometimes would show up hours later, but mine, they would text me and I would text back. They would never receive it. 99% of the messages I sent never got through. They would text, I would try to respond right there, like as soon as I received it, respond, nothing. And out of like maybe 100 texts that I sent, maybe less than 10 went through, right? So it was awful. So trying to go through this with them, it just didn't really seem like it was going anywhere. And I said, you know what, maybe if I receive your SIM card, try it again, maybe it'll work. For now, I'm just going to wait for the SIM card. I was already like frustrated. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, we're not getting anywhere. when you sign up, you do have that. You're asked, do you want an eSIM or a SIM card, a physical SIM card? An eSIM is like, I guess, a digital thing that like newer phones nowadays can use. So the Samsung Note 10 Plus, not new enough. So I ordered a SIM card. Your first SIM card is free. I don't understand how this works. Like, why the first one is free, and what are you talking about? The first, like, there's more. Why would I order more for the same account? I don't get this. They say you can't have like a family account and all this, so I don't really understand why I would need more than one SIM card, or maybe I'm just like misunderstanding what they're trying to say. But whatever. Couple days, they process your order, they ship it out. Then a few more days, you receive it in the mail. This is business days, right? No holidays here, and it's coming through USPS like regular mail. It comes in a little standard white envelope with Volta on there, and then you have your card, you have some instructions. Take the SIM card out, put it in the phone. You can go on their website, and they give you the web addresses, but there's no damn way I'm typing in a long-ass address. So I went to their FAQs all the way at the bottom. How do you set it up? Set it up here on an Android, and they give you the walkthrough of how you go in and set up the phone for the APN. And if you have any experience with this, it's a very thorough walkthrough, but if you have any experience with setting up an APN, theirs is very simple. All you do is, I'm showing you here on the screen, is you add a new APN, you put whatever name you want, and they give you two APN options, TN1 or RH. So what I did, because I was having so much trouble with this, is I added both APNs in the phone. That way I can switch to either one. So all you fill out, like what I did, was Volta 1 and Volta 2. And then for the APN, you see the name was Volta 1 and Volta 1 and Volta 2. You don't do it on the same, right? You open up and you save each one. So this one, Volta 1, TN1, okay. Click up here, save it, then add another APN, access point name, and then Volta 2, APN RH, and then you save it. That way you can just go through, like I said, I was having a lot of trouble with the service, so I did this to see if it would make a difference, and I would just switch back and forth sometimes to see if it would help. So that's all you really got to do. You reboot your phone, I guess, and it's supposed to work. So I did this, and I contacted them, and I'm like, look, still not working. I'm still having a ton of problems sending text messages. There seems to be a delay on calls, in my opinion, whether I'm receiving or sending, whether I'm receiving a call or calling someone, and receiving a text from someone, sometimes they just wouldn't come in, right? Or sometimes it would show up very late. But I know it never changed from me being able to contact someone through text. Like I said, out of close to 100 texts, less than 10 went through. Okay? And that, for me, that's absolutely unacceptable. Because for me, I don't know if I mentioned this already, we use a lot of messengers here. SimpleX, biocoded, Secret Messenger, Conversations, Monocles, Element, Shildy Chat, Nebby Chat. We use a lot of these different messengers, okay? Now, if I can't contact, like, for instance, my wife, if I can't contact her through there, she's not responding, it seems like she's not receiving the messages, I drop down and I go to, like, standard text messaging. And if she can't receive that SMS, then I call, okay? So it's like I have a backup to the backup, stuff like that, right? Now, with Volta, you don't have that. If this messenger is not working, that service is like dead in the water. You can't contact anyone, and something, people might not be able to contact you. And you always got to be prepared for an emergency. That's what this should, we got to make sure this works, because there could be an emergency with someone, and it could be a very important call or whatever, or text or whatever. And if it's not going through, like, this service is pointless, right? I mean, if you want to sell it as just like a browser, mobile data kind of service, okay, fine. However, when I sent them these messages, they gave me a lot, like, okay, well, try this. Try adding a +1 in front. You know, are you on Wi-Fi? Are you on this? Are you on that? They're trying to figure it out. Nothing's helping. When they told me, like, make sure there's +1 in front of the person I'm trying to contact, I did it, and again, it worked that first try, but then, like, less than 24 hours later, it stopped working again. So I'm like, are they messing with me or something? I couldn't use it as my primary service, right? So I just put it on my wife's second phone, and I'm like, here, use the mobile data here. We're probably not going to be able to keep it. Just use it. That way we don't completely lose the $12.50, I guess. She got upset with it because it just wasn't working for her either. Sometimes it was so slow or it wasn't working at all. And I started looking into it, and I seen it happen on my Note 10 Plus a couple of times, where you need data roaming here. That you got to make sure you enable data roaming when you're setting up this APN and you're trying to get the service going on your phone. So you see the bars on your phone, right? How your signal strength, and then you see an R up there. They tell you just to ignore it. Everything's fine. Yeah, you'll see here in the on the screen. So I had bars and I had the R, but at times this 4G or LTE, it wasn't here. I didn't have anything else. It was just like this, so I didn't have any internet access. So I'm like, what the hell? So I toggled airplane mode many times. Sometimes I rebooted the phone. Again, I told you I put in both APNs, so sometimes I would switch back and forth to try to, get it going. And eventually it would pop up, and then I can move about my business. And one thing I noticed on her phone, sometimes I would check, and it would just show the bars and the R. It wouldn't show 4G. It wouldn't show, like, data. And she wouldn't have data. So I said, okay. So now I see, like, this is a pain in the ass. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on with this. So, yeah, I understood, like, why she didn't want to use it either. Another thing I noticed was, say I had data and I'm, like, updating applications on my phone. Okay, there was an instance where I updated, like, a browser. It was, like, around 100 megabytes. Not even halfway through downloading that application, the service cut. Like, I lost 4G, and it was just the bars here. And, it took, like, a minute, and then it came back on its own, and then it continued downloading. Then I updated another app, and then on the next app, I kept, like, going through the list, and then it cut off again. I'm thinking to myself, what are they doing? Like, is it because the encryption? Is it because they're limiting the service? They're throttling it? Or what the hell's going on? It happened on both phones, so I know it's not because, well, this phone is like this, that phone. I mean, yeah, they're both Samsungs, but yeah, that pissed me off too. Who has time for that shit? No one. And that's not like full service. I never had these kind of issues with Straight Talk, Simple Mobile, Mint Mobile, Metro PCS, T-Mobile. I never had any, even going back in the day when I used Sprint and Virgin Mobile. I never had any issues like this ever before. So that pissed me off. However, I didn't mention anything about any of these issues. I was like focused on being able to send text messages. Never found a solution. So, what happened? I'm gonna get into all the emails. I'm gonna read them all, the dates, the times, and you're gonna see they respond very quickly. For customer service on an email, right? Like usually, like it might take like a couple days. I got to the point where I told them, like, look, I don't mind, continuing to help you guys, but I'm coming up to the end of the month of my service, and you know what? I really can't pay for this if it's not gonna work. I don't want to have it if it's just not going to work. Why am I going to have this additional service here? and it's not going to work the right way. Okay, I'm not going to be playing games like this. I didn't say all this, but I'm thinking to myself, right? And you'll hear exactly what I said in the emails in a little bit. Or what I wrote, right? I said, so I don't mind continuing to help you guys, but I think I'm going to have to cancel. Because I have a week left, and I don't want to pay for this service if I'm not going to be able to use it fully, right? I did my part. I paid for that. And you guys aren't coming through with it. So after these guys were sending back and forth emails, and they're responding just in a matter of hours, out of nowhere after I sent that, it was like absolutely just like cut off. No responses whatsoever. I sent multiple different ways to try to contact them. Nothing. They didn't send an apology. They didn't send like, hey, give us another chance. We're gonna, since this service wasn't like complete and it didn't, we didn't really give you what you purchased, we'll give you an extra month. Nothing. Nothing at all. They just completely stopped contacting. I tried contacting on their website. There was another person that tried to get a hold of to make sure that all my questions were being answered, all my problems were being resolved, stuff like that. Molly. Sent to her, nothing. The main one that I was contacting, David, yeah, I feel like they like blacklisted, like just don't talk to this guy anymore. Don't send any more messages. I don't know what the hell I did. I will read all these emails, okay? I never lost my temper. I never said anything bad. I don't do stuff like that. I wasn't raised like that, okay? And in this audio, like in our videos, yeah, I might use like bad language, but like I say, I try to talk to you guys the way I would, you guys talk to me, you ask me questions in real life, this is how I'm going to talk to you. Yeah, if you're like someone older, and yeah, I should keep that in mind, or if you're like a woman, right? I'm not going to use like this bad language to your face. But this is just in general like how I speak once I'm comfortable with people, right? Now, if that person's like, please don't use that language in front of me, like I don't like it, okay, fine, I make adjustments, but I'm not going to do that. I try to be as comfortable and as natural as I am in these videos. But when I'm talking to like people, like, in a business kind of thing or whatever, I'm not just like, what the fuck, no, I don't do stuff like that. I walk away from it, like I'm not that kind of guy that everyone thinks that I'm this like guy that's gonna like that I'm like tough and I'm like no, I'm not like that. I don't look for fights or anything like that. Yeah, when I was like 18 years old, maybe for a little while, but I'm a grown ass man. 38, 37, 38. I think like 38. I'm already past all that. I'm not gonna waste my time with stuff like that. If there's like someone looking for a fight, look somewhere else. I don't want like that kind of stuff, okay? But yeah. So this is what I wanted to get through on these videos. How they treated me as a customer, and I didn't do anything, okay? I paid for the service and that was it. I told them there's a problem, that was it. They didn't want to help after that. Like, they tried helping, and when I said, hey, it's coming up to the end of the month, I can't keep doing this, I'm not going to pay again for another month of incomplete service, it's just like blocked. Like, I guess, right? That's how I feel like it was. Like, no matter where I contacted, and you're going to hear there was multiple ways I tried contacting them, it was just like they don't want to do any, they don't want to have anything. And that's going from like 5-star or 10 out of 10 rating, like the best customer service I've ever had in my life, to like petty, like, well, if they don't like us, like, just don't do business with them anymore, and don't talk to them anymore, don't look at them, whatever. I was like shocked. I'm like, this is unbelievable. I've never experienced this ever in my life. Like, there's a handful of times that I've experienced really terrible things. This stood out as well. This was it. This is one of those top 5 moments kind of thing. So before people get involved with these guys, do your research. This was our experience. This is our opinions on everything, our thoughts on everything. This is what really happened. This is how we interpreted everything. And I'm going to read you all the emails that I sent, that I have, that they responded to, and I have their response. So really think about it. If you're going to ask me, look, if my phone can't call or can't text someone, or it's like unreliable, right? That's unacceptable, because it could be an emergency. Their mobile data seems like, when you're browsing pages and stuff like that, it seems like it worked more or less like having normal, regular T-Mobile service, right? When you're a customer with T-Mobile. But it was, like I said, sometimes you look at your phone, there's no data signal. Sometimes you're trying to download stuff, the internet's cutting off. You know, you're trying to update your apps, right? Those are, downloading apps, so it cuts off. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell's going on? Are they doing this, like, deliberately? And then after that, yeah, having them treat me like that as a paying customer that was trying to get help from them to try to keep their service, and they just, like, completely ignored everything else. They're just like, we don't want anything else to do with this guy. I'm thinking to myself, damn, like, what the hell did I do? And not being able to text people. That's unacceptable. This is the most broken. It's just not ready to go live. This, in our opinion, like, this is. I would stay. Like, you have, like, service, like, oh, it's so slow. I don't recommend using that service because they throttle your internet. I would run to that type of service instead of paying for, even if it's only $12 a month, which it's not. For Volta Wireless, I even mentioned that in the future I might try them again, to see if they got everything ironed out. Yeah, not anymore. I want nothing to do with this company after they treated people like this. And what's funny, after they treated us like this. And what's funny, after I mentioned to the guy that I might have to cancel, and he stopped, like, messaging, like, a day or two later, he went back on that website that's that the video is banned, and he did, like, a call. He called in, and he's like, yeah, I really don't like letting people down. And you can hear he's kind of, like, nervous in his voice. I'm thinking to myself, and he's like, yeah, just let everyone know, like we're really working hard, and we're trying to, get everything worked out. And he sounded kind of different from the first interview that he did. He sounded, like, a little bit nervous. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, maybe I'm not the only one that's having problems here. Maybe he's, like, way over his head, like he stepped into something that he just wasn't ready for. Maybe he got this influx of customers that he just couldn't handle. I don't know. But yeah, for this to be happening for customers and customer service and the type of service you're receiving, I give it, like, the lowest rating possible. The absolute lowest. If you're talking 1 out of 5, 1. 1 to 10, 1. How many thumbs? 2 down. If I had more thumbs, even more down. A, B, C, D, F, whatever. F. Worst experience. One of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. So before you jump into it, there. And I will continue, and I'll read you the email so you can get the full, like, a better picture of what happened. So if I don't get to it later at the end of the emails, thank you guys. If you do watch our videos, if you do listen, if you made it all the way through all of our videos, if you enjoy our stuff, thank you guys. We do have a lot of other videos like this, and yeah, we're not pros. We just, like I said, go about it naturally, like just our impressions on stuff. So thanks for watching. Take care. God bless.